if you're going to send any videos to new girls that we haven't talked about, like, let me know that first. Because she wanted to be careful. It's like, oh, okay, sure. That was fine. I didn't think about it at the time because I didn't think it mattered, but yeah, sure. So I thought about that. So that was like an issue that me and Melina had that we talked about and then we resolved, right? The way that Bob told this to Boze was Bob told Boze that like I was secretly recording me and Melina having sex and then sending that to people. I don't feel as bad about exposing this because...
Yeah, fuck him. Why would you? You know what I mean? He's out for blood. Now we're out for blood.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let me start this off by saying that I generally don't leak anything about anybody or start fights with anybody unless they've like severely fucked me over first. And then I'm usually like, generally I'm like pretty chill unless people are doing like crazy shit. So where to start? So about a year ago, I think about a year ago, Bob7 and Melina start talking to each other and become close friends. Now, when it comes to dealing with like Austin shows and shit, they were called back in the day. Now a lot of you whippersnappers don't know this, but way back in the day we called this we called these Raj Royales. Wait, hold on one second. On these types of shows, I don't really like to deal with characters because I'm a very authentic person, and if you're being authentic and you're responding to a character, you kind of look like a dumb and it makes me feel stupid. Like, how am I supposed to get so like I complain about that publicly, but privately I don't like hate any of these people. I don't hate Bob7. I don't hate Casey Tron. I don't like dislike any of these people or anything. So Melina and Bob were friends for a while. They talk quite a bit. They get fairly close to each other, and for the majority of this, it seems pretty cool. I have no problems with either of these people. Obviously, I love Melina, and I have no problem with Bob. They talked for a while. I think for the most part, this, I'm trying to think if there's anything there's anything relevant in this or in the opener of this. I don't think there is. 2 months ago, I start talking to Boze quite a bit. She doesn't spend very much time on stream, and I don't talk about her very much, but she is genuinely one of like the coolest people that I've met in this world. Like, us meeting was totally by chance, and she's like a tremendously fucking awesome, cool person. I super duper appreciate. Ooh, she's in here. Never mind. Cringe. She's an okay person. We'll just leave it at that. Okay. No, but realistically, like, I end up talking to her quite a bit. We hang out quite a bit. Super duper cool person. We are fairly close. I think we are. No, we're fairly close. Really awesome new friend that I've made last year. And I'm, super duper happy about that. I might get, again, to be clear, I might get exact timelines wrong, but the general idea of everything is okay. One piece of background that I'll give on this. When I talk to girls, I never, ever, 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 ever will share problems that I'm having with my current significant other or try to shit talk or like demean the person that I'm dating. It's a personal rule I have, and I feel like it's very important to make any type of open relationship or other friendships function. Not to say that like I'm doing this with every girl I fuck, but just in general, I think it's a really bad idea, or that you have to be fucking somebody with this. But I'm just saying, like, in general, like if I'm talking to any girl ever, I'm never going to like start complaining about Melina, because I think that is like a really, really, really bad thing to do. It puts weird thoughts in their mind where it's like, oh, well, he's shit talking to, like, does he think I'm cooler than her? Or like, can I date this person? Or is their relationship falling apart? I'm very, very, very close. Or I'm very careful when it comes to like shit talking my significant other. If anybody wants to challenge me on that or leak shit, I've talked to PG2, I've talked to a ton of different people. I'll never do that. It's just something I don't do because I think it's a bad idea. So, okay. So moving past that, okay, I'm trying to be very hard, or I'm trying to be very careful not to throw Melina under the bus. Like, I love Melina. So Melina, I say this, I'm very lucky in that personally, I don't have this very big like emotional need to vent at all. I just don't typically need to. I don't really talk to anybody about like personal problems that I have. Every now and then I might like hit up like Dan or Mr. Wood and be like, hey, do you think I'm crazy here or whatever? Or I might hit up somebody, like maybe I'll like PG Chew sometimes. I'll be like, hey, do you think I'm like crazy here? Or like, I need perspective.
The answer is always yes.
Good one. Very ableist to use crazy like that towards me. But anyway, I'm usually like pretty careful, or I usually just don't feel that need that much. Now, Melina, on the other hand, usually needs like a person to vent to, over the past like 12 months, the person that ended up being the person she would vent to would be Bob7. Which, again, I don't really care that much. That's fine. If you want to vent to somebody, knock yourself out. This might sound a little bit sociopathic, but like the reason why I typically don't care about who my partners talk to, the reason why I don't usually care about like open relationships, all that, is I figure that like if somebody like shit talking me to you is going to turn you against me, that relationship is never gonna work out. I don't give a fuck. I can find someone else. I don't care. Or like if you fuck somebody else and then you want to go like leave me for them, like I can find somebody else. Fuck that. I don't care. Like, fuck it. Like, that's just typically my thought process. So I'm never going to tell somebody like, hey, like, don't talk to them or whatever. Like, I usually don't care that much. So we've got we've got the foundation laid out. Okay. We have the foundation laid out. So 2 months ago, a random series of events happen and Bob7 and Boze end up doing a stream together. Now, I believe that at the time they go to stream together, there are a couple of things that are happening here. So one, listen, me and Melina, like I'm sure every couple, me and Melina have our problems, of course, okay? Like our relationship is far from perfect. We don't vent about it too much publicly, but obviously we have problems. I work way too much. She's very emotional. I'm very cold. There's like a whole slew, there's a whole slew of things that like we fight about and stuff. It happens. But nobody is generally aware of these problems, especially not other girls that I talk to. Absolutely not. I would never do that. So in the course of Boze and Bob having a conversation with each other, Bob, for whatever reason, decides to expose to Boze, hey, just so you know, I'm like Melina's closest friend. And I don't think Boze knew at the time that Bob and Melina were very close, and it kind of put her in a strange situation because now she's on a show talking to somebody who's the closest friend of my fiance, and then me that she's been hanging out with quite a bit over the past month and chatting with. And Bob makes it apparent to Boze that he knows lots of information about me and Melina's relationship that Boze doesn't know anything about. So after they have their little stream where they chit-chat, they do the little drunk stream. Bob does this little stream where he talks to pretty girls, whatever the fuck they're called. They have like a 3 or 4 hour stream afterwards. Not stream afterwards. They have like a 3 or 4 hour conversation afterwards where they talk about stuff. So I don't remember exactly how this played out, but I think the next day, basically, I get like a very long and I think disappointing message from Erica telling me that like, hey, I feel like a little bit misled. It sounds like you are having like issues with Melina and I don't know about a lot of these things. And Bob is telling me a whole bunch of like really crazy shit about you. Boze, sorry. Bob is telling me like a bunch of really crazy stuff about you, like horrible stuff you've done, blah, 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 blah. And I'm kind of like sitting here thinking like, okay, well, this is a little bit strange. I don't know like what all he's told you or why he's telling you so much about my personal life. But it basically puts up like a huge wall between me and Erica. Fucking Boze. Fuck, online names are so fucking stupid. There's a huge wall up between me and Boze because now she, for good reasons, like doesn't trust me because she feels like I've hidden some things. And I'm kind of left in this very strange area where like I don't know why the fuck some fucking guy on the internet is like spilling like really, really, really deep secrets about my personal life to a new friend that I have. I think I talked to, there's a whole slew of things that happen here. And I think I talked to Melina a little bit and I try to figure out like, hey, what the fuck is going on? I think at some point, Melina thinks that Boze hates her and was talking shit about her to Bob7 because I think Bob7 tells Melina that Boze is talking shit to her. And then Boze is telling me that Bob7 is talking shit and then Melina is talking shit. And there's like this whole crazy fucking shit is going on where my entire personal life, because Boze is like one of the only friends I've made here in LA that I'm talking to. And now I've like kind of lost this friend, which hurt quite a bit. And then Melina and Bob are still talking, and I'm like a little bit confused about like what the fuck is going on. So over the next like 2 or 3 days, I play a little Death Note game where I'm having Melina send certain messages to Bob, and now I'm reading messages between Bob and Melina because I can read Melina's DMs. Boze is sending me a few messages between her and Bob, so I can read those, and then Bob is sending messages to Erica and Melina, and I'm kind of like reading these to try to figure out like what the fuck is going on, because I have no fucking idea like what in the fuck is happening behind the scenes, to where like it's very, very, very confusing to me. There comes down to like some night. So I wish I could remember what. There was like some critical piece of information where I think Bob had told Melina that Erica didn't want them streaming. Wait, hold on. Hold on. There's so many names to get here. Jesus fuck. Okay, Bob tells Melina that Boze hates Melina, but Bob tells Boze that Melina doesn't want them to ever stream together because Melina hates Boze, okay? There's some night where Bob and Boze have another stream together, and this is like very late. I ask Melina, hey, you should ask Bob for logs to see if like Boze is actually shit-talking you or whatever, because I'm curious, because if she is, this is like very out of character. I've spent a lot of time talking to her. She doesn't seem like the kind of person to do that. I don't know why she would. I haven't told her anything negative about Melina at all. And then Melina asks Bob for logs, and then Bob does the oh, well, I don't feel comfortable leaking people's logs. It's personal, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, whatever. Eventually, Bob sends one log to Melina where, no, okay, that was that night. That was it. Also, okay, during this night, sorry, this is so complicated. I swear to God, this was so fucking confusing at the time. Also, during this night, Boze and Bob do like another drunk stream. Melina wakes up, I think kind of early-ish in Sweden time, and I tell Melina, hey, you shouldn't tell Bob that you know that they're doing a stream. I'm very curious what he's going to do, because supposedly Bob told you that Boze doesn't want you guys talking, and supposedly he told Boze that you don't want them streaming. So I'm just curious what Bob will do after the end of the stream. And I tell Melina, hey, don't tell Bob you should just ask Bob what he's doing. So Melina sends Bob a message, says, hey, what did you do tonight? And Bob was like, oh, I just drank a little bit. And Emily's like, oh, she asked me, like, should I ask him about the stream? And I was like, no, just ask him, well, who did you drink with? Like, what happened? And, she sends him another message, and Bob is like, oh, I just drank a little bit and, talked to friends, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, wait, okay, don't say anything, okay? Let's just chill, and let's see what happens in the morning. And then we go to sleep, and we wait, and when we wake up in the morning, Bob fucking deleted the fucking VOD. Oh, God, I'm so glad that he did this, because all the pieces fall in place, and now I see exactly what's going on, right? That Bob is playing some crazy fucking games behind the scene, and I'm like, oh, God, okay, thank you. So once Bob does that, I call Boze, and I give her this, 45-minute conversation where I very frankly tell her, I was like, listen, okay, either you are fucking insane or Bob is fucking insane. I'm just going to lay out all the evidence. I'm going to tell you what I think, and then here's my case. One of you two is fucking crazy, though. And here, I know you have no reason to trust me, whatever. So I have that talk with her for 45 minutes, and then I think I have a talk with Melina where I'm like, hey, Melina, either Bob or Boze are fucking insane. It's one of these two people. I don't know who the fuck it is. And then I lay out my case, and it's like, this is why I think it's Bob. And then after all the puzzle pieces fall into play, and I'd read all the logs between everybody, I basically figure out that oh, okay. And then I have more talks with Boze. And I basically find out that Bob is hardcore dumping information about me to Boze. Incredibly personal information. Not only is the information incredibly personal, the information is incredibly misleading. So, I'm trying to think if I can give an example of this. There's one clear example that sticks out of my mind a lot, where it's what the fuck? Okay, so here, this would be an example of something, okay? So, a long time ago, so obviously, okay, me and Melina send nudes to people. Me and Melina had a conversation about, there were a few girls that we talked to. It was like, oh, cool, we should record videos of us fucking shit and send it to people. It's fun. So we do this. I kind of have my little archive of Coomer material that I'll send to people if I want to. There were girls that I talked to past that I'd send stuff of either me and Melina. And Melina talked to me, and she was like, hey, if you're going to send any videos to new girls that we haven't talked about, let me know that first. Because she wanted to be careful. And so I was like, oh, okay, sure. That was fine. I didn't think about it at the time because I didn't think it mattered. But yeah, sure. So I thought about that. So that was an issue that me and Melina had that we talked about, and then we resolved, right? The way that Bob told this to Boze was, Bob told Boze that I was secretly recording me and Melina having sex and then sending that to people. which is really, really, really fucked up, right? Like, this is like a way different telling of this story. It was like, okay, wait, hold on, okay? Like, for the first thing, like, okay, yeah, I should have, like, checked 100% with Melina, but, like, this is, like, a way fucking worse thing, okay? Because now you sound like I got, like, secret cameras and shit. But that's one example of, like, a dozen or so stories that were dramatically warped in terms of perspective, right? So I think Boze spends a few days, I think, like, thinking about this. Melina and Bob spend a few days, I guess, sitting on this. And eventually I think it gets to the point to where I figure everything out. I think that Boze kind of starts to pay more attention. She messages me and she's like, hey, like, I'm paying attention more in my conversation with Bob, and like Bob exaggerates the fuck out of a lot of shit. And I think she starts to see that, like, okay, Bob is like pretty fucking insane with this stuff, and he brings you up a lot. And that's something else that Melina mentions too, is that like Bob will bring you up a lot to like shit. Like, even like I remember there was one conversation, it was like we were talking for like 3 hours and Bob kept trying to bring you up like over and over again to shit talk you for some reason. It's like, okay, whatever. Now, just the way that I am, I don't give a fuck who Melina talks to. Bob is a close friend of hers. It's a little bit stupid, but I'm like, whatever, just stop talking about me. And more importantly, don't fucking talk to my friends about me, okay? This is very fucking weird, okay? Now, something that happened like a week later, no, not a week later, maybe a week or two later, is I start to notice this very fucking weird shit where Bob is starting to talk to like all of these girls that I know. So I found out that like Bob is in calls now with like Melina and Boze, or Melina, Boze, and Eris, or talking to like Melina and Pichachu, and they're still like leaking like kind of all of these like personal details of like our lives and shit to like these other like girls that I chat with. And I'm like, okay, well, this feels like this is like very fucked up for me. Now, I'm already not a very popular person. Obviously, I fight with a fuck ton of streamers, and I'm can be very fucking hard to get along with. So when I have this feeling that there exists somebody like in my personal life that is like connecting to every single fucking person I talk to, and is also like shit talking me behind the scenes, it's starting to like, this is like severely impacting my like like makes me feel very bad. Okay, this is fucking with me hard. Why the fuck are you like trying to torpedo all of my personal relationships? So this goes on for a bit. I'm muddling up the timeline. There's like a couple months pass in between all of this shit as it's going on. Where were we at? Like, Bob is just like communicating with all these girls. I think Melina at one point tells me that like Bob says that he feels like he has a responsibility to warn girls about you, to warn people that you're like crazy or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, it seems a little bit fucked up that that's going on in my personal life, but okay. Have a conversation with Peach, because as I start to realize what's happening, like I message her because I know Bob's talking to her, like, hey, we should chat for a little bit because I'm worried you might have heard a bunch of like crazy fucking shit about me. And then she's like, yeah, I actually have heard recently a bunch of crazy fucking shit about you. It's like, oh, okay, well, yeah. So that happens. That exists in the background of my life for a little bit, and just annoying. So eventually we reach a point in my life where Boze, who's a close friend of mine, fucking hates Melina. Not fucking hates her, but like thinks she's like pretty shitty towards me and pretty obnoxious. And Melina fucking hates Boze. Maybe not fucking hates Boze, but she thinks Boze hates her for no reason, and she doesn't understand it. Bob is talking to both these guys like, oh, I don't know why Melina doesn't like you. I have no idea. Or, oh, I don't know why Boze is like you. I have no idea. Like, I don't blah, blah, blah. And like, I'm just kind of like sitting here, and like my basic thing is that like, listen, I don't give a fuck if you don't like Boze. Like, I'm hanging out with her like something like fucking figure shit out. I don't care if you guys hate each other. And then to Boze, like, I don't know why you don't like Melina. Just don't. I don't want to hear about it. Don't talk to me about Melina. Like, I don't care if you don't like her. Fuck it. This carries on for a little bit. And then let's see, where there's a lot of like random personal dumb shit that goes on in the middle of this. None of it is that important. Something happens to where so during the Georgia event, I think I'm really important, or somebody convinced Boze to actually come out, which was cool. And then Melina's obviously out at this event as well. And Melina and Boze decide that they're going to have a conversation with each other to figure out like what the fuck is going on, because everybody is like fucking hating each other. After half a day of awkwardly like walking around each other and not knowing like if they hated each other or not. So Melina and Boze have a conversation. This is all happening in the background of my Georgia event, by the way. So Melina and Boze have a conversation for like fucking 4 hours. And by the end of that conversation, they have figured out that Bob7 has lied a fuck ton about everything to both of them. To skip some of the story in the future, basically, the way that Bob7 makes friends is Bob7 will be like, let's say I'm trying to make friends with Mr. Mooten. This is what Bob7 would be like, Mr. Mooten, what's up? Oh my God, you're so cool. I like you a lot. You're really funny. You're not like Dan, okay? You're so much cooler than Dan. You're not fat and old and stupid like Dan.
Hey,
like, God, that guy's so fucking dumb. Like, Mooten, you're like really cool. And then he would like go and talk to like Dan. He'd be like, damn, I like talking to you, Dan. Like, you're so cool. Like, you're not a loser like fucking Mr. Mooten. Like, you're a real streamer. You're not like this orbiter dipshit loser. Like, blah, blah. And this is how Bob7 would.
Wait, I'm on fucking mobile, but let me say something.
Well, okay, quick, cause I'm not like trying to do like the 13-hour version. You guys talk about this shit for 40 hours as we go.
What? Oh my, I didn't even hear what you said. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go.
Okay, listen. Here's one of the things that he fucking told me, which I thought was like insane. So one day he calls me and he's like, Boze, Melina just called me and she really wants to come to New York. She told me that she's finally ready to leave Steven and she wants to be with me and I don't know what to do. I don't want to be with her, but she obviously wants to be with me. I don't know what to do. So, like, in my head, I'm thinking that this, he's already told me all these awful things about Melina, and now I think that she's trying to, like, leave you behind your back, which it turned out to be a total and complete lie. When Melina and I talked, she fucking told Bob that she just needed, like, a break, and she wanted to go to New York for a week, and she had the fucking logs to back it up. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Okay, all right, have fun. Yeah, so, yeah, there's, like, a lot, basically, like, the history is that, like, Bob will exaggerate the fuck out of a ton of shit and do stuff like this, but regardless, Melina and Boze talk to each other for a little bit, and then they realize that, like, holy shit, like, there's been a ton of stuff that's been, like, misrepresented behind the scenes. And then I think Boze and Melina start talking to Peach, and all of them kind of start to realize that, like, oh, maybe Bob7 is crazy, maybe there's, like, crazy shit. I don't know what happened because I'm trying to do my Georgia event, and they're, like, upstairs in the rooms talking for, like, fucking 30 million fucking hours. But at some point, and I'm not going to release names here because Bob7 might try to do a response video in the future. And I don't want him to know what everyone else knows. At some point, like, I go upstairs into the hotel room and there's like fucking like 10 girls on a fucking group call and they're all talking. It felt like a fucking movie. Isn't there some movie where like 4 girls all find out they're dating the same guy or some shit? Like these 10 girls. Yeah, these 10 girls in this fucking group call, and they're all talking about like, holy shit, like Bob7 has like said all the same shit to me. Like he's throwing you under the bus. Like, oh my God, like he talks shit about you all the time. Like, oh my God, like there's this girl, he says you're fucking ugly. And like, oh my God, like I'm pretty sure like he sent me, like he screen shared like your fucking nudes and shit on this. And it was like all this crazy fucking shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like listening to like all these other background talking, like, oh my God. I was like watching a guy, his whole life being destroyed like in fucking real time, because like all these girls started to realize that like Bob7 had been playing like all of these fucking people behind the scene. I was like, oh my God. And like, holy shit. And to some extent I felt a little bit vindicated or good, because now I realized like now everybody knows he's a fuckboy piece of shit because he's been fucking with my life hard fucking core for the past 2 months, okay, trying to torpedo my personal relationships. And yeah, that was the there's a lot more to this, and there are a lot more horrible stories related to this, and a lot more personal stuff, and also stuff that would be incredibly destructive to parts of Bob7's life that I don't even want to say what parts they would be destructive to because they're so negative. I only really wanted to talk about like the stuff that was kind of related to me, and then I guess like how that situation resolved or whatever. But yeah, that was that thing. There's not really much else I guess related to me to talk about, but like holy fuck. Okay, but how did you all fall for this, Pichichu, Melina, Boze? How did you not talk to the person being shit? Okay, I don't even want to say this publicly because I think that I think it's unethical to say this. But listening to these girls talk about Bob, man, and maybe it's just because they're all young. And I say this, oh fuck, Melina's gonna get really mad when I say that. But like, dude, you can trick girls into doing stuff with saying some really stupid shit. Oh my God, like this is basically like his like pickup artist tactics where like talk to a girl, pretend that you're asexual. I don't really have any sexual interest, blah, 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 blah. Like, ask them for nudes or do sexual jokes, like, kind of jokingly, like, I'm just, like, memeing, dog. And then, like, throw every other girl underneath the bus, say, I'm not interested in a girl romantically, but you're, like, way smarter, funnier than her, blah, blah, blah. And he would just, like, run this same pattern over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, like, every girl he fucking talks to. And, like, all of these girls in this conversation basically realized that they had gotten, like, super, like, fucked on this, like, pattern. And I was like shocked. I think I said a couple of times on the call, I'd probably come off as really mean, but like I was like saying like, I can't believe that you guys fall for this shit. It's unbelievable. What the fuck? Like it was like
something else that was happening though was that he knew who the girls talked to. So like he would talk shit about Boze to me because he knew that I didn't know Boze, and if he like made her out to be crazy, that I'd probably not try and build a friendship there if I thought that she was genuinely crazy. And then when we were in the call with 10 other girls, they had similar experiences where like he'd be shit talking one of the girls to everyone except the girl that was friends with her. So it's like he had this like web of like people that he would shit talk, but like none of us would actually meet each other. It feels like John Tucker Must Die, that movie. Like Jesus.
Where do you get the time to talk to 7 different girls?
That's what I'm wondering, because he talks to Melina like fucking 3 hours on these nights on Discord and shit. I was like, how the fuck are you talking? But the funny thing is that, and I don't want to reveal how many phone calls I listened to, but like Bob7, the funny thing was that like when the Bob7 castle started to burn down, he was like running around like calling like every fucking girl while he was like typing to other girls. So like, there was like one girl that he was talking to on the phone, and while he's talking to her, you know, she's like, oh, why are you typing so much? She's like, oh, you know, like just some other girl being a dumbass. But then he's like typing to another girl, like trying to like patch things up with her. So he's like running around trying to like keep the fucking like wooden shack from burning down. Is like is fucking hilarious. I say hilarious. I mean, like I feel kind of bad for him, but like holy shit, like damn, he fucked so much of his life up, and now he's fucked in so many really bad ways. I don't know how much will be made public or not, but like yikes. You know, he was like running around a ship with a bucket trying to keep it from sinking, basically. But,
you just started a stream to kill all my friends today, didn't you?
Was Bob7 your friend?
No, we just chat every now and then.
Do you think he just orchestrated the ultimate content? No. The funny thing is that like there was a huge situation that came up at the end that was like pretty damaging in his life, and he tried to accuse me and Boze of like concocting some master plan to get him fucked, which was really funny. But like, it's funny. I guess I'm glad that I'm like 32 because I see like a lot of mini-me's. So like Denims is like a mini-me, like a kind of like sociopathic trying to manipulate people, like dumb shit that I did in my early 20s. And then Bob7 is like the same. But like the funny thing is that like I don't know why that like I learned this at an early age. Like if you're gonna tell lies to people, you can't tell a ton of lies to people in the same fucking friend group. That's just a no-no. Okay, it's just stupid as fuck. That's how Denims got caught when she told the same lie to 3 different fucking people. We all talk to each other. Why would you do that? And then Bob7 got fucked because Melina and Boze ended up talking to each other. There wasn't enough separation between the people he was lying to. But it was like, yeah, holy shit. He crumbled under the pressure. But there you go. What a ride.
Well, the drama's, you know, you've been dealing with that for the past fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I'm glad so now, because the Doug drama is done with my life now, thank God. And then...
You told him the Death Note moment?
What?
Oh yeah, I think you went over like the Death Note moment.
Yeah, not in detail, but like, yeah, that was a big investigation, and it took me a whole 12 hours, but I felt so good at the end. He did the one thing. It was like fucking like waiting for him I just needed him to delete that one VOD, and then all of the other story that I had like made sense. Because up until he deleted that VOD, I could have explained everything with either... because when I called Boze initially... I fucked the telling this. When I called Boze initially, I told her that like I was waiting for like one more piece of evidence because either she was fucking insane or Bob was fucking insane. And I needed one thing to happen to figure out like which one it was. And it was actually Bob7 deleting the VOD the next morning without telling Melina that it made me realize like Bob7 is one that's going fucking crazy. Yeah. But there you go. What did 1/3 and the other stuff mean? Oh, my hints? Oh, because I was vague posted to fucking get you guys. The 1/3 thing was that 1/3 of all the money that I spent on Georgia, the canvassing project, 1/3 was spent on Doug. So there you go.
We did it.
Your uncle? Oh, my uncle's name is Robert, which is Bob. But...
Well, we're drama free now.
Yeah, now that I've shed the drama from my life.
Go back to Minecraft.
Load up the SevTech. How How do we know that Boze hasn't actually played Destiny everyone else? Well, I have the privilege of being in a position where I can read a lot of DMs from a lot of people. And then I also have the privilege of, like, for instance, so like for Melina, like never lies. So like I know that she's like, that's like 100% pure source of information that I always have. And then I get to read DMs from Bob, DMs from Boze, and DMs from Melina and Bob. So I get to see like so much information that like, if I have like access to so much, like I'm going to figure out what's going on. Like you can't, there's no way that you could cover up that much shit. Like, which is, yeah. So I was lucky in that, I guess.
Steve secretly works for the NSA.
No. But, yeah. Why did deleting the VOD make everything click? What was it? I think it was,
It was something to do.
It was something to do with.
Yeah.
Or wait, do you know? I might have explained it to you back then, but I don't remember. It was something to do with like Bob7 told both girls different stories about whether or not he was allowed to stream with Boze. Like I think he told Boze that like Melina didn't want him to stream with Boze, but he told Melina that like, fuck, what was? I don't remember. Did I tell you? What was it?
I think he told Boze that Melina didn't want him streaming with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't remember how, I guess, like, deleting the VOD, like, vindicated that. Oh, because I think he deleted the VOD, so it looked like that when he streamed with Boze,
Uh-huh.
I guess Melina told him to delete the VOD? I don't fucking remember. It was something like that. It was a little bit more complicated.
It was, yeah, I don't remember. It was, but that, it was like a linchpin. It was like the most, it was like when he did that, it was everything else like 100% fell into line. I'd have to go back and remember this. This is like an incredibly fucking complicated, like, roundabout, because so many different people were being said different things, but like, yeah, but him deleting that VOD was like the proof of everything, basically, yeah. Why does he ultimately want to screw you over? Also, if you did this to him, do you think you could pull this off? I think that he wanted to screw me. I don't think he wanted to screw me over, actually. It feels kind of shitty to say, but like, I don't think that he was like this horrible, evil person. He just like has a way of making friends. It's just really, really, really shitty, where he shit talks and throws like everybody else under the bus to do it. I think that it's probably just like a tactic that's worked in the past for him. And so he just like does that continuously, basically. Yeah.
I mean, were we wrong? I don't know. I always thought that Bob was like massively in love with Melina. Was he just like doing it to like fuck with everybody, or?
Wait, I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I always thought, from what I heard, that Bob was like super in love with Melina.
I don't know if he was super in love with Melina. I think he liked Melina a lot, but I think it was just more just like, this is like, he has like a pattern that he uses to get close to people, and this is that pattern, and he just continued to play it.
Which is fucked, but yeah.
Yeah.
What if he's still in character? What if all of that was like method acting?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Is there any more, Steven, or is that it?
I mean, there's like, if push comes to shove, there's a lot of like really, 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 like this is all kind of like dumb shit. There's a lot of like really fucked up shit. Fuck that Bob7 did that even people in his personal life don't know about. That's really fucked. But that will probably never see the light of day. I shouldn't actually say that because I'm like teasing it. But if Bob7 decides to try to make some response video like vindicating himself, I'll probably just like nuke that shit from orbit. But yeah. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed. That's been my personal life for the past couple months. How have you guys been doing?